What's going on, guys? Welcome to my most anticipated movies of 2012. I'm going to talk about the movies I'm really excited to see in 2012. Rotten Tomatoes actually just posted a kind of a web little page showing the 100 movies that they think are going to be big in 2013. And I made a list of 10. I was going to try and put them in order of 10 through 1, what I wanted to see most. But it's too hard because there's so many good movies coming out. So I wrote down 10, and number 10 was A Good Day to Die Hard. The god of the action movie, Die Hard, is getting another entry into the series, and I'm really excited to see it. I actually did just get the Die Hard collection with Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and A Good Day to Die Hard. Good Day to Die. That's the new one. Live Free or Die Hard is the one I'm talking about. Good Day to Die Hard looks pretty good. I think it comes out February something. I think it might have come out on Valentine's Day. But looking forward for that one. Next up is Iron Man 3. A huge Marvel fan. I'm just a comic book fan in general. You know, a lot of people like to choose sides, Marvel or DC, and I really like both of them. Although my favorite superhero is Batman. And I know a lot of people say that nowadays, but I was with Batman before the Dark Knight trilogy. You know, it's just, I grew up watching the animated series, and that's what got me into it. But a lot of people's favorite superhero now is Batman. Let's get a little off track, but I've been a big Marvel fan for a long time. Right after Batman came on when I was a kid, Spider-Man, the animated series from the 90s, would come on, and I'd watch that too. So Marvel and DC both have a good place in my heart. And, you know, Iron Man 1 and 2, 1 was definitely pretty damn good. Iron Man 1 really set the whole genre ablaze, you know what I mean? Definitely for Marvel movies. It was like the Kickstarter for all this Avengers stuff. Well, it was the first movie in the Avengers series, but if that wouldn't have been successful, you know, I don't know if they would have been able to pull off the rest of the Avengers movies. But Iron Man 2 was kind of a letdown. It was okay. But I'm really looking forward for Iron Man 3 because the Avengers kind of kickstarted a type of movie that they can go a little bit more off the wall, more supernatural powers, more space, aliens, and stuff like that. You know, before that they were trying to be a little bit too grounded, and I don't think Marvel's good with grounded things. I think DC characters are much more grounded than Marvel characters. So with Iron Man 3, they're bringing Mandarin in, and he's kind of like a sorcerer wizard guy, and I think that's going to work really well, being that Avengers brought in Thanos, which is some astronomical villain, and I'm really hoping that they do him right. But with Avengers, they were able to open the box a little more and be outside of it with more of the space and sorcerer villains that Marvel has. So I'm looking forward to Iron Man 3. I think it's going to be pretty good. But After Earth is another one I'm looking forward to, although it's being directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And with M. Night Shyamalan, you never know if it's going to be a total piece of shit or a great movie. Like with Signs and The Sixth Sense, I know a lot of people don't like Signs, though, but I really enjoyed Signs. I think Sixth Sense and Signs are pretty damn good movies. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you have The Happening, which is a total piece of shit, and The Last Airbender, which is also a total piece of shit. So you never know what's going to happen with M. Night Shyamalan. So I'm not sure what to think of it, but I'm keeping my mind open about it. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters. I might wait for a Netflix release. But next up is Oblivion. And now this is another science fiction movie with Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. So I'm not really sure the backstory of it. Something about aliens coming and destroying part of the Earth, but humans win out eventually. But Earth is kind of like lost. It's been destroyed, basically. It's barren. So Tom Cruise is like part of a survey team to pick up supplies or something like that, and I don't really know much about it. Just that's what I got from the trailer. It looks pretty damn cool, though. What's next? I wrote them all down on a note card. Hobbit, of course, the next Hobbit movie. I love Lord of the Rings. I thought Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey was okay. It's definitely not up to par with Lord of the Rings. I think though that anything we had thought was wrong with the first Hobbit, I think is going to be addressed in the second one. The first one was called An Unexpected Journey, and I keep burping because I just ate lunch. But the next one is called The Desolation of Smaug. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Don't really know who Smaug is. That might be the big white orc guy. I don't really remember what his name was though. But looking forward to The Hobbit just because I love the universe of Lord of the Rings. So 300 Rise of an Empire is next. And this kind of came out of nowhere. I had no idea they were making another 300 movie. I really like 300. I really like the whole style of 300. It's just it's filmed in such a way that it's kind of like watching a graphic novel, and it's just really cool. But I don't really know what this one's about, being that it's called Rise of an Empire, and I read the synopsis and it said 6 years after the events of 300. So I'm guessing that Xerxes comes back up and I guess tries to claim Sparta for himself, something along those lines. So I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to it. 300 was a pretty good movie, and I'm looking forward to the sequel. Next up is World War Z, and this movie looks pretty badass. You know, zombie movies, they, like a good zombie movie, gets in a city, and you're in the city, and it's the confines of the city, and you're like, man, this must be all over the world. It kind of leaves you wondering. Well, with World War Z and what I got from the trailer, this is a global thing, and it's pretty cool that they're doing that. They're definitely taking global shots of things going on around the world. Like, for example, what was it called? Dawn of the Dead from like 2004, I think. You know, it was confined to the city, although at the end they got to the boat and were going to this island thinking there wouldn't be any zombies there, and there is. But throughout the movie, it was kind of making you believe that it was around the world, but you weren't sure. You just knew that it was definitely in this city. And with World War Z, they're doing the opposite thing. You know it's around the world. And it just looks pretty awesome. Brad Pitt looks pretty damn awesome in that. The movie just looks... I'm really into zombie movies for some reason. I don't know why. Walking Dead, I guess, kind of made me really like zombies. Next up, Sin City: A Dame to Kill. Sin City is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely just awesome. It's such a good movie. If you've never seen Sin City, pick up the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray is pretty damn cheap and it looks amazing. It's a black and white graphic novel movie with splashes of red and yellow, and it's a stunning looking movie, and the stories are pretty damn interesting too. My favorite's Marv. Marv is pretty badass in that, but just a cool looking movie. And I did hear that Joseph Gordon-Levitt has signed on to the cast to be a new character. They were actually trying to get him to do something, and he turned it down so he could be in the Sin City sequel. So looking forward to that. I do like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Next up, number 2 is Man of Steel. Big Superman fan, although, I might get some flack for this, but I don't care for the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. They're just too campy and stupid. Like, Gene Hackman plays a good Lex Luthor, but he's too comical. He doesn't seem evil. He just seems like a dumbass. He's trying, especially in Superman 4. That movie's just awful. It's funny, but it's just horrible. And and Superman Returns was okay. They definitely stepped up the evilness of Lex Luthor with Kevin Spacey, but it's just it was okay. And I don't really care for the Christopher Reeve movies, so I'm looking forward for a grounded, good Superman movie, which I haven't seen in a long time. And I hear they're doing General Zod, and I hope they do that well, because it seems like with Superman movies they never do anyone else than they always do Lex Luthor or General Zod. And I realize those are two main villains in the series, but do someone else. I mean, you could do Parasite. Parasite would be cool. I think Parasite was a Superman villain. Darkseid, but I hear they're saving that for the Justice League movie. There's a bunch more villains they could do other than General Zod and Lex Luthor, which they What am I trying to say? They keep trying to do those. Moving on. My number one movie that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm probably going to get made fun of this, but it's Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim looks pretty freaking awesome. It just looks mindless and fun to watch. When I first saw the trailer, we were going to see The Hobbit, and at first I thought it was like Gundam the movie, you know, and kind of is. They're fighting giant monsters with giant robots. It looks really cool. And Guillermo del Toro, I hope I'm pronouncing his name out, Guillermo, something like that. I'll just say Del Toro. Del Toro's directing it, and he directed Hellboy. And Hellboy's a pretty damn good movie. He directed the first two of those. So I have confidence that he'll do a good job with Pacific Rim. I'm just really looking forward to it. It just looks so awesome. Like the giant monsters and the jets are flying around. It just looks like mindless fun. Mindless sci-fi fun, which is the best kind of fun. But really looking forward to those movies. Tell me what couple movies you're excited for in 2013. I know I left quite a few out, but those are the ones I'm looking forward to. So, really looking forward to Pacific Rim, though. Man, that looks so good. But thanks for watching. See you later.